final lecture on Chapter 1, which is titled EMS Research. And before we get started, I just want to go ahead and say, do not be afraid of that term research. It doesn't mean that you're going to have to go and write endless papers on a specific topic or anything. I just want to talk to you about research and how it has affected EMS and how it will continue to affect EMS in the future. So what is EMS research? Well, EMS research is a body of evidence that provides a specific background or a basis for what it is that we do. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of areas that do not have adequate research standing behind it to back it up, but we still do it because it's called a best practice. And the body of evidence is getting bigger and bigger and bigger that does support what we do. And we are making changes based on this new research effort that has gone into this thing that we call EMS to improve patient care in the pre-hospital and even in the in-hospital setting. For example, let's look at CPR. We've all been EMTs here for a while, and we've seen that CPR has gone through some drastic changes. For many, many years, it was ABC, airway, breathing, circulation, when it came to our BLS resuscitation. Now, it's CAB, and that's based off of research, and at first we were resistant. But in reality, in looking at it, it comes to find out that CAB is working to save more and more lives every day. So, yes, EMS research does provide a scientific basic for the standards of which we do what we do. The problem is, well, I'll get to that a little later. So what we want to do is we want to look at evidence-based decision-making and becoming an integral part of functioning in EMS. And what is evidence-based? Evidence-based is a concept that signifies a way to make decisions based on scientific facts that has been proven through the research method that backs up what we do. Now the thing is, whenever we're doing research, we're not going to find something that says, hey, do this or do that. What we're going to find are things that have answered specific, very narrow questions. And we're going to have to look at more than one research article to help us make decisions. These decisions should be based off of research that is close to your area as possible. It's very difficult to come up with a research-based answer or an evidence-based answer based off of evidence from Montreal, Canada, or Afghanistan. We need evidence-based research that is from our area, that is being applied in similar circumstances or a similar environment. Now, this environment could be in Canada, it could be in Afghanistan, but the environments need to be similar because it's totally different applying pre-hospital medicine on the battlefield than it is in the rural setting of Kansas, I can say. However, you may be able to take bits and pieces that can help you apply a specific decision to your local area. However, if that decision is not out there, I would encourage you to keep looking, because more than likely there's research out there that is kind of points towards the answer that you're looking for. Now, it's important for us to stay current on the latest research, because research changes and attitudes change towards certain things or certain concepts that we have been following for many years. But just because one research article comes out doesn't mean it's time to jump on the bandwagon, because there usually needs to be many more follow-up articles written. And remember, a research article only answers a narrow question. It doesn't answer the broad question. So, and many times in application, the questions that we need answered are more broad, not so much narrow. So that means that we need more research articles, more evidence to support what it is that we do in the field. So you need to be skeptical and ask questions when you're reading research articles. Just because it's a published research article doesn't mean it's right. If that was the case, well, then you wouldn't see on TV all the time, if you have taken this medication, contact this lawyer because of this, this, and this. Well, trust me, that medication went through a large amount of research. A lot of time and effort went into researching that medication, making sure that it was going to do what they wanted it to do or what it claimed to do, and that it was safe to utilize. But then what ended up happening when it was applied to the mass population? There were complications, and the research was valid, but it didn't answer all the critical questions it needed, and now these manufacturers and stuff are in trouble, and lawyers are going after them. So it is okay to be skeptical and ask questions. You don't have to have a PhD to read research articles. You don't have to be a PhD to participate in research or anything. But you need to, you don't need to just take their word for it. Don't take their word at face value. Ask the questions. Read the article all the way through. Just don't read bits and pieces and look for sound bites, because a lot of times in the article, the author will tell you things that, hey, this applied here, but what could we do better? This area needs to be researched more. Even though we found this answer, we might need to look at this a little more in depth to get a better answer. Or these things were brought up during the research process that could pose problems down the field. So don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the that's the way that we get better at this stuff, is by asking a question and then building upon that and asking more questions, and then we keep going that way. So how are you involved in research? Well, as an EMS provider, you may be called upon to gather data. And the way you do that is by answering or by filling out your paperwork appropriately. And when you fill out your paperwork appropriately, and the researchers can utilize that information gathered to apply towards their research projects in the area that they're working on. The thing is about whenever you're looking at information that you are gathering in the field, you need to make sure that it is as accurate as possible, so that the researcher has a good picture of what is going on in the field, and they can take that data and apply it towards their projects to answer those specific questions that they're looking for. Well, I hope that kind of, sums up a little bit about research. Just remember, research is a process of answering specific questions. The research that we are looking at right now in EMS is research that provides evidence to help us make decisions based off of the scientific process that shows that these processes and applications of medications and equipment and skills and procedures is proven to be effective and beneficial to the public. And you as an AEMT can be involved in the research process by gathering data. And you can even, if you want to get involved and even deeper, you could even actually participate in the actual research process. So please, don't be afraid to research. Go out there and let's help progress this system or this profession that we call EMS. Well, that's it for Chapter 1. I do want you to watch, there's a video on EMS research that's right after this one. You need to watch that one as well. That'll help you, a little bit in this area of research. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And I hope you have a great day.